All right. Good evening, baseball family and friends and fans. So we're going to be returning to Decades League tonight in Action PC Baseball. I haven't played Action PC Baseball in a little while. So and I love the Decades League. So that's what we're going to do. Yes, we are. Okay. So we got some good matchups here. Hey, Philip Reynolds, welcome in. Good evening, bud. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. All right. Hope all is well with you. So I think we're gonna go with the boy, this is so tough. All right, so we are going to do the 1940s versus the 1910s. So it's gonna be Bob Feller versus Ed Walsh. So two immortals of the game. You've been playing red ice hockey. 6 games played. Awesome. Awesome, Philip. Um, must be enjoying it if you got 6 games in. That's good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, always good stuff, man. People playing good stuff. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's go into this. The 1940s at 9 wins and 4 losses, tied for first with the 1930s decade. The 1910s, they are 5-8, so they are 4 games back, and they're tied for second place. So, what this was an older subset of the baseball history collection, which Dave Cook really needs to put back out there again. This would just take, I mean, certainly you can make your own if you have this, but um, just having it done is excellent. So, guys, get on the forums and tell Dave. It's like, come on, you're just releasing the same stuff every year now for the baseball history collection. Where before it's a lot more creative. The stuff that they have there is really cool, but this was great, and it has a great all-time great franchise league that hasn't been done in ages. And I'm thinking of trying to do some research and or not trying, but just doing some research and maybe making my own version for the 2010s. But we'll see. All right, Dwayne Martz. He says hello, everybody, and we say hello to Dwayne Martz. And cousin Ken Castro is here tonight, so that's good. As we're going to play some dead ball baseball. The 1940s versus the 1910s. So again, you've got the 19th century has its own team, and then the 1900s, 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So this is a really fun league. I really like it. I think this is probably the best of the older subsets of the baseball history collection. Of course, the update just came out this past June. For anybody who wants to pick it up, I bought it. I haven't installed it yet because nobody, these are like newly retired players, things like that. But it's been the same subsets as far as country birth, things like that. Decade debuts, which is really cool. So might draw upon it to create the best of the 2010s at some point. I'm not really that interested in doing that. So we'll see. We'll see. Parallel League here with us tonight says, I interrupt. Well, I don't want to interrupt your Motley Crue movie, my friend. You can always check this out later. Motley Crue's better than I am. I give them some respect. They too. They did a pretty good cover of Helter Skelter. So there you go, Motley Crue, Beatles fans covering a Beatles song. Motley Crue's probably never going to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but then again, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a joke. But don't let me get started on that. As cousin Ken, that's just going to listen to us in bed, working on your Connie Mack persona for the tournament on Saturday. Hope your $100,000 infield comes through for me. We hope the same. You got to get the straw hat, and you have to be Natalie dressed. You know that, cousin. Connie Mack never wore a uniform in the dugout, as you know, but maybe others did not know. So, in pictures, we want pictures, or it didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, you switched Motley Crue. Well done. All right, Parallel League is he's back on it now. He is back on it. So, oh, you're very welcome, cousin Ken. Yeah, Dwayne Martz says he's rooting for him. So, guys, I always pick a random ballpark and just go with it. So, actually, before we go to the game, let's pick another ball. Well, let's pick a ballpark to make this happen, I guess. Yeah. So let's go to ballparks and let's go to park layouts and let's assign a new neutral park because I don't know what we've been playing. Oh my God, this is never mind. It's acting weird. So we're just gonna just go with this. Everything's acting weird lately. So let's just go with it. I forget why that happens, but I can't be arsed to fix it right now. I can't be arsed. Can't be arsed. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We'll be managing the 1910s, and let's go. Other good matchups here. So yeah, we're playing again. So I switch these parks up every once in a while. In fact, we could probably switch it up right now if we wanted to. But no. Yeah, let's switch things up here. We've been at actually the game's having a cow here because it's not great. This is not Great American Ballpark, and I don't want to have Reds fans saying that's not Great American Ballpark because I would say I know. Let's see, where can we switch this to for a while? Since Dwayne's here, I think we should. I'll probably have to set this up, but maybe we do. Let's do Braves Field. How about if we do Braves Field, and we'll sign it as the new neutral park image. And let's see if this actually will change up. I hope so. I don't know if it will or not. And if it doesn't, we're just going to go on with the game anyhow. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it didn't change it. That's okay. All right. So just to give you a little preview of some of these rosters before we get into it. So here are the 1910s. So again, these are great players between 1910 and 1919. So you got Home Run Baker, Donnie Bush, Hal Chase, Ty Cobb, Eddie Collins, Doc Crandall, Sam Crawford, Larry Doyle, Steve Evans, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Ed Konichi, I'm sorry, Sherry McGee, Stuffy McGinnis, cousin Ken Castro, Stuffy McGinnis. There we go. Chief Myers, Ray Schalk. We got two versions of Red Smith. We're going to inactivate the catcher part of Red Smith, though. We're going to inactivate him. There we go, because we don't want it to get really, really weird. There we go. All right, so we have Red Smith third base. Tris Speaker, Terry Turner, and Chief Wilson. The pitchers in this 1910 squad, no slouches at all. Walter Johnson, Grover Cleveland Alexander, Ed Walsh, Hippo Vaughn, Eddie Seacott. Then we got Dick Rudolph, Doc Crandall, Irv Lang, George McQuillan, Hank Robinson, Doc Ayers, Pete Henning, Rube Geyer, and Wolfgang Melly. We love Melly Wolfgang. Remember him? Yeah. All right, so let me see. They're facing Hal Newhauser. So there we go. This is going to be a good lineup here. So for the 1910s, it's going to be Speaker, Collins, McGee, Baker, Kenichi, and Wilson, Bush, Schalk, and Walsh. And let you guys have a look at the. Let's look at the other. View the opponent. Yep. And so quite a few guys inactive on this one. But anyhow, for the 1940s, a decade that kind of gets ignored here on in the community. I don't know why. The 1940s was an excellent decade for baseball. Jack Dawson, hey brother Jack, good to see you. Yeah, I have Candlestick assigned to the team. That is why it didn't change. I think it's assigned to all the teams, and then I just whatever. So, but we'll leave the stick in here for now because what the hell, it was the site of the last Beatles concert until the rooftop show on Apple, on the roof of the Apple. Anyhow, Lou Boudreau, Harry Denning, Dom and Joe DiMaggio, Joe Flash Gordon, Frankie Hayes, Tommy Holmes, Ken Keltner, Ralph Kiner, the big cat Johnny Mize, but right now he is not active, Wally Moses, Pee Wee Reese, Buddy Lewis, Jackie Robinson, Enos Slaughter, Vern Stevens, Mickey Vernon, Ted Williams. Ted Williams also right now not active, so we'll probably see Ralph Kiner get the start. So we'll have a little surprise, though. We'll see what happens. Let's go to this, and let's go. Let's go. And I forgot to change the sound, so hang on while I do that. is very stupid. There we go. Hopefully sound's coming through all right with you guys. Welcome to the stick, where it's the 1940s against the 1910s. Hal Newhouser takes the mound for the 1940 squad. 4 starts in the year. He's 2-1 with an earned run average of 3.97. This will be his second start against the 1910 decade, and he is 1-0 with a 3.00 ERA against. And he will be opposed by the great spitballer and Irish tenor, Ed Walsh. So Walsh, 4 starts in the year and 1-3 with an ERA of 3.30. This will be his third start against the 1940s. 0-2 against them with a 5.40 earned run average. So the 1940s kind of licking their chops as Big Ed Walsh will be out there on the mound, taking his warm-up pitches right now. So what do we got going on here? So Buddy Lewis for the 1940s is on a 10-game hitting streak. Mickey Vernon in a 12-game hitting streak. It is 62 degrees here in San Francisco. The wind speed is 6 miles per hour in from center field. Hal Newhouser versus Ed Walsh. And let's go. All right. Here we go. Looking at the starting defense for the 1910s. In left field, it'll be Sherry McGee. In center, the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker. And over and right, Chief Wilson. Going around the horn at first base, Ed Kenichi. At second, Cocky Collins, Eddie Collins. At short, Donnie Bush. At third base, Home Run Baker. Or I guess I forgot to put a picture in there for Home Run Baker. Catching the cracker, Ray Schalk. And on the mound, Ed Walsh. Leading things off here, Buddy Lewis hitting .400 in the season, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. And let's get this party started. 0-1 pitch on the way to Big Ed Walsh. We're going to look for a lot of weird pitches from him tonight. Ed Walsh needing to better his record against this 1940 squad. Buddy Lewis sends this lazy fly ball, a little pop fly out there to third. Home Run Baker calling off Donnie Bush makes the catch for out number 1. Bernie Strom joins us here. Bernie Strom, Bernie, we got to talk this weekend because it is it's damn near time for the next Diamonds and Dice broadcast on your channel. Truth Hurts Wilkie. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Great to see you. I've been seeing your emails, man. I've just been I will be answering them and watching these things. But he says, haven't had much time to mess with Action PC, but how do you restart a season? Thank you. Okay, I'll have to show you after the game, but I will show you. Very, very, very easy to do. Bernie says he can't wait. I can't wait either. People seem to really like the old Diamonds and Dice podcast. Their brainchild of one Mr. Bernie Strom out there in Las Vegas, Sin City. You figure out what you've been doing. Yes, I do know. And the tide is turning, my friend. You and I got to talk some night. We got to figure out some way to actually talk. It would be really nice. I'm just exchanging emails. I have a way that we can talk on here without actually being on a broadcast. So we got to figure that out, my friend. Tide's starting to turn. The tide is starting to turn. All right, 1 down. Here's Mickey Vernon. Mickey Vernon on a 12-game hitting streak right now. So again, this 1940 squad, 9 wins, 4 losses. For 1910s, 5-8, very, very early in the season. All right, here we go. Walsh peers in, has the sign from Ray Cracker Schalk. And the 1-2 pitch. Vernon swings, tapper back to the mound. Walsh off the mound to his right, underhands it to Ed Kenichi for out number 2. All right, here is the Yankee Clipper. So how's DiMaggio doing in this very early season? 293. Joltin' Joe has 4 homers and 13 runs batted in. All right, here we go. Brother Dom also in this team. Brother Dom not getting the start tonight, obviously. Dom DiMaggio is going to see some very limited playing time with his brother Joe there in center field. All right, Walsh ready to go. Look at the saliva content of this ball coming in. 1-1 pitch, and DiMaggio hits this one hard to center field. Speaker looks up, open the window, Aunt Mitty, and Joe DiMaggio hits his 5th home run of the season, and the 1940s tally one here in the top of the 1st. All right, so 2 away, and now Ed Walsh also has to face former Pittsburgh Pirate Ralph Kiner. Kiner off to a slow start in the young season. Kiner hitting just 189. He has knocked 5 out of the park, however, 12 RBI. By the way, got to apologize. Don't know what caused that very, very, very rare crash last night in out of the park baseball. I've got to do some switching around and maneuvering and stuff like that. But yeah, the Indians were starting to maybe start to mount a comeback. It wasn't. It was a terribly close game, but it was a good game. And all of a sudden, bam, just crashed. And it's like the third crash I've ever had playing out of the park baseball. I've been playing since 1999. So apologies, guys, that happened. Good question. So, guys, I don't know if we have any. I mean, I know Dwayne Martz isn't, so we won't ask Dwayne Martz's question. I'm not sure how far the stick was from AT&T Park. That's a really good question, guys. Anybody knows out there? Be nice to know. All right, big Ralph Kiner stepping in, and Ed Walsh with the 0-1 pitch, and Kiner pops this one towards short. Former Tiger Donnie Bush has it for out number 3, but 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And after a half inning, the 1940s won, and the 1910s coming to bat. I need better names for these teams. So, guys, maybe put on your thinking caps. In left field, Ralph Kiner. In center, Joe DiMaggio. And in right, Buddy Lewis. At first base, Mickey Vernon. At second, Joe Flash Gordon. At shortstop, Lou Boudreau. At third, Ken Keltner. So we got Indians on the left side of the infield, or Guardians, if you wish. Frankie Hayes behind the plate, and on the mound, former Tiger Hal Newhouser. Leading things off here, one of the greatest of all time in the game, Tris Speaker, premier center fielder of his day and one of the greatest center fielders of all time. One of them. All right. What do we got here? 323 average, a home run, 2 runs batted in for the Gray Eagle. Newhouser is ready to go. Count full, and Trispeaker draws the walk. So the tying run reaches, and again, let's not get too dramatic. It is only the bottom of the first inning. Here is Eddie Collins, one of the Clean Sox, one of the all-time absolute great baseball players ever. The Collins right now, I'm starting the season 238 with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Speaker, good speed at first. Expected to steal about 29 bases, has yet to steal one, and we're in game. We're in game 14 here. Newhouser deals 0-1 pitch. Eddie Collins bunts back to the mound. The only play will be to first. Sacrifice successful, and the Gray Eagle moves into scoring position as a man who should be in the Hall of Fame steps to the plate, Sherry McGee, left fielder, hitting 237, a home run, 12 runs batted in. So Bernie says he's driven by both AT&T and the stick. He says about 10 miles. Wow, okay. So we were talking Field of Dreams, and Crash Davis showed up last night. Nice. I love Field of Dreams. Love that movie so much. I mean, Kevin Costner, man, he's face it, the man's a baseball fan. Does one like iconic movie, and then I would say Bull Durham is excellent. And I think For Love of the Game is a good movie. I really do. That one got knocked by a bunch of people, but I think it was a good. I think it was a good movie. Also, Costner loves baseball and looks convincing playing it too. Which is somebody told me. I guess he bopped around the minors a little bit or something. He actually had some professional baseball experience. I'm not sure if that tale's apocryphal or true or not. But I know that, and also, of course, the late lamented Ray Liotta also good form up there. I mean, these guys were no William Bendix, and you baseball historians know to whom and why I'm referring to William Bendix. Poor Babe Ruth, right? Never had a good movie made about him yet, and the best portrayal of Babe Ruth was the Whammer in The Natural, right? So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So you think For Love of the Game is his best baseball movie? Cool, Dwayne. Nice. So 8 miles, ChatGPT says, between the Candlestick Park and AT&T. So there you go. There you go, Parallel League. All right, McGee in the box. 3-1 pitch. McGee draws the walk. Newhouser missing down low. So 2 on, 1 away, and it brings up home run Baker, who needs a picture. I could fix that right now, but I'm too lazy. Unless you guys really want. Now, I'm not going to worry about it. Home run Baker. Maybe we won't. Maybe he's loving not having a picture because right now he's hitting 380, 3 home runs, and he's got 5 runs batted in. Tris Speaker on at first, trailing him, Sherry McGee at first. McGee also has wheels of speed, as you would expect for this dead ball squad. Newhouser deals. And home run Baker cranks this one to right back and at the wall, and making the catch, leaping grab, is Joe DiMaggio. Beautiful play out there by Jolton Joe on the play. Tris Speaker tags and moves to third. All right, that will bring up Ed Kenichi now, first baseman, hitting 250. And he has 3 home runs, 5 RBI. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Newhouser from the stretch in the 0-1 pitch. Kenichi swings. Good wood on that one, but a little high, not deep enough. The Yankee Clipper pulls it down and side retired. So we get no runs, no hits, and no errors. We played 1, and it's 1-0 in favor of the 1940s. Truth Hurts Wilkie says 2025 tops. Lids Mitchell, last player at Chase Series 2. Are we bugs? Have you ever seen these hats? No, I have not. I have not. That'd be cool to see. Cool to see those. Have not. Mr. Martz. Try to get Mr. Martz up here on the screen. So, like when he comes out to talk to him, tells the manager to give him a pat on the butt and get back in the dugout after talking to him. He starts walking away. He says, "Where's my pat?" Yeah, I mean, I love the movie, and I think it was came out at the right time. Good stuff. So, all right. So Dwayne, a fan of that. I'm sorry, my headphones are being weird here. But you guys can hear me. Just getting sound in one ear. I'm having all kinds of issues here. Anyhow, Joe Gordon will lead things off here, then Lou Boudreau and Frankie Hayes. So Joe Gordon, right now, late of the Yankees, 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in, hitting 255 here as we enter game 14 of the Decades League. And Ed Walsh ready to deal. 1-2 pitch on the way to Gordon. And Gordon, big cut and a miss. And Big Ed Walsh will pick up his first strikeout of the game. All right, here's Indians Hall of Famer Lou Boudreau, shortstop, hitting. I got to change the background color on this. Good God. 205 with 2 runs batted in. Walsh deals 2-1 pitch to Boudreau. Boudreau swings, and this one over first. Good line drive, and Boudreau turns on the Jets. And Chief Wilson fielding on the hop, but not before Boudreau gets in with a 2-bagger with 1 down here in the top of the 2nd inning. Here's the catcher, Frankie Hayes, hitting just 122. Frankie has 1 bop out of the yard with 5 runs batted in. Ray Schalk sets the target for Big Ed Walsh. Walsh checks Boudreau at second. Boudreau will steal the occasional base, does have a steal already this season. 1-2 pitch on the way. Hayes swings, popped left side, and it's going to be Donnie Bush calling off home run Baker, and he will make the catch. So 2 away, runner in scoring position for third baseman Ken Keltner, late of that 1948 Cleveland Indians World Championship squad. Keltner right now hitting just 178, a home run, 6 runs batted in. And I still have Dwayne up there on the marquee. Boop, there we go. Appropriate for Joe D to Jack win a candlestick. He was born nearby. Exactly. Remember the famous scouting report on Joe DiMaggio when he was still playing the Pacific Coast League. He went 1 for 4, got a single off of Satchel Paige, and Yankee scout said he's ready for the bigs. He went 1 for 4 against Satch. That's awesome. Love that stuff. Hey, there's how you doing there, Jackson Evans 4217. He says hi, buddy. And hey, how you doing, man? Welcome in. A little baseball tonight. Hey, Modern Relic, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Says used to listen to Lou Boudreau broadcast the Cubs on WGN. Good times. How about it back in the day? That's when I really, I mean, because I was obviously watching the Pittsburgh Pirates, but loved the fact that you had those big stations like WGN. So I used to catch the Cubs on there, and those were good times. And then Major League Baseball starting to get a little bit greedy, and there you go. All right, got a number of people in here. Thank you. If this is your first time in the family, we call it. It's really a family. The game is secondary. We'd like to talk baseball here and whatever else. So, but the game does take place regardless. All right, let's get back to it now. All right, Keltner at the plate, two down. Lou Boudreau at second. Walsh winds and fires. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Keltner swings and liner and Kenichi leaps, pulls it down. What a play. Ed Kenichi saving a possible extra base hit and another run. So a doff of the cap there to Ed Kenichi there at first base. No runs, one hit, no errors, and a man left on. We head to the bottom of the second inning here at Candlestick Park. The 1940s lead the 1910s 1-0. It'll be Owen Chief Wilson doing leadoff duties here, followed by Donnie Bush and Ray Schalk. Wilson with a 114 average, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. Former Pittsburgh Pirate. Lefty in the box against Hal Newhouser. Lefty-lefty matchup on the way. Here we go. 1-2 pitch. Wilson swings. And this one, a little bouncer to Keltner. Keltner hurries his throw. And this one down in the dirt. Mickey Vernon has to dig it out. And that's going to be the second error of the season for Ken Keltner. And as a result of that, Chief Wilson now in scoring position. So potential tying run on at second for the 1910s. Nobody out. Keltner making a quick throw of that, digging it out in the dirt, and Mickey Vernon chasing that ball, and Chief Wilson hanging out there at the Keystone sack. So Wilson projected to steal about 12 bases in the season. As former Pirate manager and former Detroit Tiger player, Donnie Bush in the box now, hitting a good 310 for the early part of the season with a run batted in. All right, Newhouser peers over his right shoulder at Chief Wilson, looks in, has the sign from Frankie Hayes, and here is the pitch, full count, and Donnie Bush draws the walk. So Newhouser giving up his third free pass of the game, hasn't hurt him yet. And here is the late hitting but great defensive Hall of Fame catcher Ray Schalk. Schalk hitting 128, 4 runs batted in for Schalk. Newhouser to deal, 1-2 pitch. Ray Schalk sends this one into right field, base hit. That'll be an RBI. Chief Wilson comes in to score, and they're going to hold Donnie Bush at third. But the 1910s tie it up here in the bottom of the second. It's 1-1. So I usually ignore the poor play stuff that Action PC comes up with. I have no idea. So it went under the webbing of Joe Gordon. That's what we'll say. And that's my story. I'm going to stick to it because Dwayne Martz is here, and he's a Yankees fan, and I don't want to get him honked off at me. All right, infield playing in, looking for Ed Walsh to bunt. Obvious bunt situation here. Let's see what the old Irishman can do here. From the stretch and the pitch by Hal Newhouser, Walsh gets a good bunt down and sacrifice not successful. So Walsh on the fielder's choice as Newhouser gets to it and fires to second. Donnie Bush moves to third on the play, 1 down. So we swing around to the top of the order in the Gray Eagle. Tris Speaker walked back in the first. Walsh will steal a base, once every ice age. 1-2 pitch on the way, and Speaker swings, lazy fly ball out to left field. Ralph Kiner on his pony and tagging, and coming in to score is Donnie Bush. Don't know why they're calling it a great play. I don't pay attention to the play-by-play unless there's something weird. So nice catch there by Ralph Kiner. Let me see here. Cousin Ken says cut a little of Pirates tonight, and they had brought in the kin of Kai Kyler, including his great. So finally, thank you, Cousin Ken. I've been so pissed off that the Pirates had made no mention or nothing at all. This is the centenary of the 1925 World Championship Pittsburgh Pirates. So wow. So some of the descendants of the great Kai Kyler. And there would have been nice also there were some other great Pittsburgh Pirates, but certainly great. Finally, thank you, Pittsburgh. So I love the Pirates. You guys know they're my favorite team. I love them. Live and die with the Buccos. And Paul Skeens pitching a shutout, nice against the Cincinnati Reds. Always love that. But um, the Pirates have this sort of weird sense of their of franchise history. So allow me a moment here to explain that. So if you go to PNC Park, outside home plate, of course, is a statue of Hannes Wagner, as there should be. And then you also have Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell, statues of them. It's really great. But the Pittsburgh Pirates, really such a great franchise. So many great players. But it seems like that by and large, it was like baseball never existed prior to Roberto Clemente. And I think, and again, Clemente, there was no doubt about his greatness. But I mean, my God, Paul Wainer, we had the greatest shortstop in baseball history and the second greatest shortstop, or one, I would say among the top five, Archie Vaughn. Never talked about Archie Vaughn. Had a pretty good hitting pie trainer there at third. Max Carey, Scoops Carey, one of the premier center fielders of his day and a Hall of Famer. Never any mention of Max Carey. And of course, Lloyd Wainer. Can't forget Lloyd Wainer. Um, it's just the Pirates. They wait until this long. They should have devoted this entire season, because what's going to happen? What Nutting is going to do to draw crowds in 2027? Oh, they'll be remembering that 1927 series when the Pirates got swept by Murderers Row. So finally, on the 7th of August, they finally remember. Any other baseball team would be celebrating the entire year, the 100th anniversary of a world championship or what have you. But Pittsburgh's sense of history and its baseball team is just woeful. It's woeful. So looks like they're having a blast. Thank you, cousin, for that. D. Scott Howard joining us. Dwayne says, "Don't mess with Flash. He'll save all of us, or every one of us." All right, here we go. So Ed Walsh on in the 1910s, leading now 2-1. Collins in the box. Yeah, in the 1960s, Pie Traynor was widely considered to be the greatest third baseman. I still think he was, certainly eclipsed by Mike Schmidt. Eddie Matthews, of course, but Traynor still no slouch at all and deserves his spot in the Hall of Fame. All right, so Eddie Collins bunted out last time, sacrifice. Here we go, 2 down, and the 1-1 pitch. Collins swings and rips this one to center field. DiMaggio has to play the carom, and Ed Walsh is going to score all the way from first base. And here come the dead ballers, the 1910 squad. Eddie Collins with his first double of the season scores Big Ed Walsh, and it's now 3-1, 2 down. Collins at second. And if Cousin Ken Castro is managing, he'd probably be calling for a steal. Cousin Ken will be managing Mr. Collins this coming Saturday, by the way. All right, here is Sherry McGee now. Left fielder walked back in the first. So 1910s trying to build some momentum here against the 1940s, who have had their number in this season thus far. 2-0 pitch. Sherry McGee swings, line drive, base hit into left. Connor up with it, gets it into Kenny Keltner. But another run scores as Eddie Collins crosses the plate in the 1910s, leading this one 4-1. Newhouser's finding the strike zone, and the 1910s are finding that his strike zone is quite wonderful. All right, here's Home Run Baker now. Flew out his last time up. McGee leads off first. Throw over, and Sherry McGee gets in there safely. Mickey Vernon with the tag, but to no avail. Newhouser ready to work, glances at the runner, comes home with a 2-0 pitch. Baker swings. This should end the inning. Ken Keltner. Oh, that one by a gnat's eyelash. Great play there by Ken Keltner at third base, but the 1910s pick up 4 big runs on 4 hits. There was an error. And 2 in the books here at Candlestick Park. The 1910s lead the 1940s 4-1. D. Scott Hauer also saying, no, Ken, we keep him on second to steal signs. That's true. All right. So Cousin Ken saying that his fate rests on the shoulders of one Eddie Cocky Collins. Collins, of course, getting the nickname Cocky because he was, but look at his numbers. He could back it up. All right, it's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 here. Hal Newhouser, and then back at the top of the order with Lewis and Vernon. Buddy Lewis and Mickey Vernon. All right, here we go. Ed Walsh with a 1-2 pitch. And Newhouser, this one, a called strike 3. Buddy Lewis trying to preserve a 10-game hit streak here. Lewis, last time up, popped out to home run Baker. 3-1 pitch, Walsh behind, and Walsh loses him. So first walk given up by Big Ed Walsh, and that will bring up Mickey Vernon. Mickey Vernon with a 12-game hitting streak, grounded back to Ed Walsh back in the first inning. Walsh checks Lewis at first. Occasional speed over there at first. 0-1 pitch. Vernon swings. Long fly ball to right. This one off the wall. Chief Wilson has it. Coming around to score is Buddy Lewis. And this 1910's lead is cut in half. Third double of the year for Mickey Vernon. An RBI double in this case. 4-2. And here's Joltin' Joe DiMaggio, who jolted one out of here back in the first. Tail of the tape of that one, guys, 387 feet. Truth Hurts Wilkie says Jen Powell is going to make her major league debut this weekend in Atlanta, becoming the first woman umpire in a century and a half of Big League Baseball. More power to her. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm happy about it. In many ways, I'm a baseball traditionalist, but not in this. I'm hoping that that this is going to open the door for more women to. I mean, come on, man. Let's get some women players. Let's do it. Let's do it. All for it. And I think partially what informs me is being a magician. That for the longest time, magic was an old boys club, the old boys club. That's what it was. But more and more women are getting into magic. And oh my God. So tonight at work during my lunch break was watching a episode of Penn and Teller Full Lust. And there was this absolutely brilliant magician. Her name was Anna Rose. I can't remember her last name. Cousin Ken. She was a knockout. Her magic was just, and she was just wonderful. So I welcome it. Jen, go for it. Go for it. So Cousin Ken here, he's gonna hold forth here on something. He says, to be honest, the tournament appeals to him. The tournament he's coming up, guys, an app tournament this weekend in South Carolina. So he's going to visit the Shoeless Joe Museum as well. It's because of unlimited sacrifices and hit and runs. Hope to turn it into a track meet. We don't need no stinking home runs. So, guys, he's going to be managing the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics. And I have a 1911 thing going on Baseball for Windows. So tomorrow night, even though Ken will be getting ready to go to, or will maybe already be in South Carolina, but tomorrow night we're going to play a 1911 game. So there we go. Martin Relic asks, he says, are those player photos from the same set? Yes, they are. Yeah. So I know that Cheech has the ones that have like the, like the ones with the white backgrounds. I like the little bit of backgrounds for the players. But yeah, so these are interchangeable. So the woman looks like your great uncle. Well, I mean, we're talking about the umpire, okay? Because that magician that I'm talking about that was just on Penn and Teller just didn't look like anybody's great uncle. But yeah, Modern Relic. These are the same photos I use in Out of the Park Baseball. And didn't mean to show the score, or yeah, whatever, that thing. I can't even think today. All right, Walsh deals. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Joe DiMaggio. And with this stay in the park, long fly ball. Tris Speaker has it at the edge of the track. So DiMaggio just getting under that one a little bit. Ed Walsh showing no emotion, just kind of chewing up the chaw there. as Ralph Kiner steps in. Kiner popped a short back in the first, 2 down, 1 in here for the 1940s, 4-2 1910's lead. 1-2 pitch on the way to Ralph Kiner. Kiner sends us up the middle, but Eddie Collins ranging to his right, bare hands, and fires onto Ed Kenichi to retire the side in a 4-3 putout. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The 1910s lead the 1940s 4-2, and it will be Ed Kenichi, Chief Wilson, and Donnie Bush due up. Kenichi last time flied to deep center. Kenichi made a great defensive play in this game, robbing the 1940s of an extra base hit and a very different score. 2-0 pitch on the way to Kenichi. Liner right back to Hal Newhouser. Pretty good reaction play there by Hal to grab that. That was a BB for sure. All right, 1 down now for Chief Wilson. Infield single back in the 2nd. 0-2 pitch. And Chief Wilson, big swing and a miss. Now Newhouser bringing that one, 91 on the gun, a little 2-seam action there. Here's Donnie Bush now. Shortstop walked back in the 2nd. Digs in against Newhouser. Newhouser eyes the batter, has the sign from Frankie Hayes, and the 1-1 pitch. Bush swings, and this one lined up the middle, past Gordon into center field for a base hit. So the 1910s with their 5th base knock of the game. Thank you, Ernie Harwell. I like calling them base knocks. Pretty fun stuff. And here's Cracker Shock, 1 for 1. Came through big in the 2nd with that RBI that began that 4-run sort of mini onslaught by the 1910s that scored Chief Wilson. So Bush on at first, 2 away. Throw over. Donnie Bush is safe. Newhouser just wanting to keep him close. 3 balls, no strikes, and Cracker Shock, good eye up there. And Newhouser having a little bit of problems here today. Uncharacteristically, 1 strikeout, 4 free passes. So 2-1 for the 1910s, and here comes Ed Walsh. I don't foresee the home team pulling Ed Walsh, not at this point anyhow. Count full, and Walsh strikes out, and that will retire the side. 3 in the books here at Candlestick Park. It's the 1910s 4 and the 1940s 2. All right. So Joe Gordon leading things off here. Lou Boudreau and Frankie Hayes in the top of the 4th inning here. Decades League action on an old subset of Baseball History Collection here. Action PC Baseball 2025. Joe Gordon struck out his last time up. Walsh in the game has fanned 2 and walked 1. So neither pitcher looking exactly dominant. 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on deep to center field, but Tris Speaker covering mileage out there in center field will bring it down, ranging far to his left near the edge of the track. 1 away now. Here's Indian shortstop, or former Indian shortstop, Lou Boudreau. Double down the right field line, and also Cubs broadcaster. Nice to know. 2-1 pitch. Boudreau sends this to Kenichi. Kenichi feeds to Walsh covering on the 3-1 putout. It's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. This game brought to you by something or other. So make sure something or other at better stores everywhere. There we go. That's all I can think of right now. Clinton Parks is the one that did the great advertising stuff. So we ever get him to broadcast again, there you go. I don't know. What's it brought to you by tonight? Our game is brought to you tonight by CVS Health Men's Multivitamins. There you go. Because they're just sitting on my desk. So there we go. That's our commercial sponsor for tonight. All right. 1-1 pitch here to Frankie Hayes. Popped up the chimney and right down into the glove of Cracker Shock. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score remains the 1910s 4 and the 1940s 2. Really do need to make names for these teams. Tris Speaker, back at the top of the order, then Eddie Collins and Sherry McGee. The Gray Eagle in the game has walked, and also a sac fly RBI that scored Donnie Bush back in the 2nd. Here's the pitch. Speaker bunts, first pitch, and Speaker will get the infield single. There you go, Cousin Ken. A little bit of dead ball action there by the leadoff hitter, bunting to get on base. So here we go. Keltner coming in on the play. Everybody caught by surprise. No way you're going to get Tris Speaker tearing down the line. So let's not say Mr. Keltner made a poor play, but rather Mr. Keltner just not used to the way they played real baseball in the dead ball era. All right, here is Cocky Collins. So Collins sacrificed back in the first, and an RBI double that scored Ed Walsh in the second. So there he is. He's looking cocky up there, Eddie Collins. 1-1 pitch on the way. Collins swings, and a little bounder. Joe Gordon's only play will be to first. On the play, Speaker moves to second. 1910's looking to add to this 4-2 lead here. Sherry McGee, 1-for-1 in the game. RBI single that scored Eddie Collins. Back in the second, Newhouser with a check of the runner. Looks in, has a sign for Frankie Hayes. Toes the rubber for count full on Sherry McGee. And this one, little grounder, the left-hand side. This is going to get through to left field for a base hit. And RBI, it's going to be a double for Sherry McGee. And Tris Speaker scores, and it is 5-2. Sherry McGee with his third two-base hit of the season. All right. Brings up home run Baker. Frank Baker, 0-for-2. Very beloved baseball player in his time and eminently skilled. 0-2 pitch. And this one, strike 3 called. Frankie Hayes drops the ball, but able to fire it on to Mickey Vernon for the out. So 2 away. Sherry McGee perched at second. Here's Ed Kenichi. Spin throw by Newhouser, and they almost get him. Joe Gordon back in there, but McGee just gets the spike on the bag. So McGee almost caught napping out there at second. McGee back into his lead now, 2 away. Carl League says, how about the War Heroes versus the Teenagers? There we go. There we go. I like that. I like that, actually. That's pretty cool. Because quite a few players on this, either way that you look at it, right? Yeah. I like it. Now, what's interesting, right? If you think about it, too. So players on these teams, right, fought in both, right? 1910s, World War I, and 1940s, you got World War II. So pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Who are the war heroes? Because, of course, the guys in 1910s fighting in the, what I feel at least was the most brutal war this planet has ever seen, the First World War. But World War II, no walk in the park, certainly. Nasty, nasty. All wars are nasty. But it just struck me there. As you, I mean, I should know that. But there we go. I know that I believe Collins served in the First World War. Of course, Alexander, Grover Cleveland Alexander, actually fought in the trenches. Ty Cobb was a captain, really didn't see any action in the First World War. I was thinking about drafting Eddie Grant onto this team, as he was the last major leaguer to die in the First World War. Kenichi, 0-for-2. He's flown out and lined out. 0-2 pitch. Kenichi sends this one deep to center field, but it's DiMaggio tracking it down at the base of the wall. Turns and makes the nice catch on his horse. But another run scores for the 1910 squad on 2 hits. There are no errors. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The 1910s lead the 1940s 5-2. And it'll be Ken Keltner, Hal Newhouser, and then the top of the order and Buddy Lewis. War Heroes versus the Teen Angels. All right, you left it. I like that. I like that. All right, Ken Keltner lined to first back in the second. Schalk sets the sign. Walsh deals. 2-2 pitch. And Ken Keltner looks at a called strike 3. That one was a spitball. Ray Schalk drops the ball, but able to get the out, tagging Keltner for out number 1. So Walsh going for the spitter. Hitter said that it looked like the ball just disintegrated as it went past. It was just spit, and then it reformed into a baseball when it hit the pitcher's glove. Great pitcher. Ed Walsh. You read about his performance overall for the 1906 White Sox, and then it was really that pitching staff. shutting down a very powerful Cubs team, heavily favored in that 1906 World Series, which Dwayne Martz has done on his channel, replayed. The Cubs won it on his channel. So Dwayne, there, I've thrown a spoiler out there just to get you back on that World Series project. But the hitless Wonder White Sox defeated an eminently powerful Chicago Cubs team, and largely because of this guy on the mound. All right, Hal Newhouser now. Hal Newhouser whiffed back in the third. Walsh studies the signs from Schalk and the 3-1 pitch, and Newhouser draws the walk. So you never want to walk your opposite number, but there we go. So Newhouser aboard at first, not known as a base stealer whatsoever. And Buddy Lewis, trying to extend that 10-game hitting streak. Ed Walsh looking for his infield to turn 2 right here. The 1-2 pitch. Lewis swings, and this one twisting foul toward the first base grandstands. And that one will get out of play about 13 rows back. All right, the 1-2 pitch on the way. And Lewis straightens it out, but they are going to turn a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score remains 5-2 in favor of the 1910s. All right, Chief Wilson, Donnie Bush, and Ray Cracker Schalk. Oh, my God, yes. So, World War I would have sucked. Did Mathewson? He did. It was he wasn't on the front lines like Alexander. Mathewson was a captain in the Army. It was a training exercise. And I guess mustard gas was just nasty stuff. And apparently it wasn't even a big breath that he took, but he did get a whiff of that. And yeah, I mean, basically my understanding of mustard gas was it literally just seared, burned your lungs, and he would cough up blood. Christy Mathewson would be in The Great Diamond in the Sky by 1922. Yeah, that just, and of course, we've talked so much about Grover Cleveland Alexander, fighting, just had to deal with epilepsy and everything, and of course, alcoholism. Gets straightened out on the alcoholism, right? Gets his drinking under control. Goes to World War I and comes back with shell shock. And all the more with all of those things, and you think about that absolute sheer grit and guts of his performance in the 1926 World Series. And here's a man who is well past his prime, ravaged by drink and the horrors of a brutal war. Grover Cleveland Alexander. Yeah, World War I was a yeesh. So very quickly, I remember, I studied that war a lot. Not because I like war, but it was it was the war that defined modern times far more than World War II. But it was all these Napoleonic tactics, right? Meeting modern technology, especially the machine gun. And I guess there was a tale that on the first day of the horrific Battle of the Somme, a British captain had kicked a football into no man's land and said, "Who will join the game?" At the end of the first day of that months-long battle, the first day, 67,000 casualties. The Battle of the Somme on day 1, and it raged on into November. So yeah, horrible, horrible war. Forgotten by many Americans, and yet in 10 months of involvement, America lost 110,000 in World War I in 10 months. Twice as many as in America's involvement in Vietnam. So, but finally, we do have a National World War I memorial, so that is good. Of course, the current president couldn't be arsed, could he, in 2018 to go to the centenary marking the end, the 100th year, right, the centenary of the ending of World War I. Bum. All right, anyhow, sorry, right-wing guys, but he didn't go. Everybody else was there. All right, Newhouser ready to deal here. It's going to be Chief Wilson, Donnie Bush, and Ray Schalk. 1-1 pitch, and Wilson line drive base hit into right field. Lewis and DiMaggio converge, but Buddy Lewis up with it, gets the ball in. So Wilson aboard, and that's hit number 8 for the 1910s. And here comes switch hitting Donnie Bush. 1-for-1 in the game, singled. He also has a walk. Newhouser throws over, Wilson back safely. Newhouser doing a good job keeping these runners close. And this one, Keltner to Gordon to Vernon, 5-4-3 double play. Big play. Kenny Keltner starting that nice turn there. All right, Ray Shaw, crackers 1-for-1. RBI and a walk in this game. 0-1 pitch. Shaw up the middle, line drive base hit. So that hit coming just one batter too late. But Cracker having a good day at the plate. Here's Ed Walsh. He whiffed his last time up. Throw over. Schalk is safe. Ray Schalk, sometimes threat to steal. Had some wheels as a catcher. Projected to steal 15 this season. Has one already. 2-2 pitch on the way. And Ed Walsh cuts and misses. But you're not going to lift Ed Walsh. Not for that. All right. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. Top of the 6th. And Ed Walsh in the 1910s leading Hal Newhouser in the 1940s 5-2. And it's going to be Mickey Vernon, Joe DiMaggio, and Ralph Kiner. So Vernon in the box now, extending his hitting streak, doubled an RBI that scored Buddy Lewis. 1-2 pitch on the way. Vernon swings, long fly ball out to right field. And galloping back there, putting the horse in reverse, is Sherry McGee. Gloves it for out number 1. All right, here's the Yankee Clipper. Home run and then a very deep fly out back in the 3rd. 1-1 pitch to the Clipper. Long fly ball to left, but a little less distance. McGee back on it, and it's the Sherry McGee show for the first 2 outs of this inning. Ralph Kiner. People used to come to Forbes Field just to see Ralph Kiner. 0-1 pitch. Kiner sends this to left. It has distance, and it is just over the wall. Sherry McGee watching it just 327 feet, and 1940s creeping back. They get one back. It is 5-3 now on that 337-foot shot by former Bucco and Mets broadcaster Ralph Kiner. All right, here's Flash Gordon, struck out and flew out in this game. 0-2 pitch. And this one, it's Sherry McGee, responsible for all 3 of the outs in this game. But the 1940s do pick up a run on a hit. There were no errors. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. And if you'll notice, here's 5-3. Ken Keltner playing in now because Speaker caught him by surprise. So pretty good job there by the manager moving his third baseman in. Let's see if Speaker tries to bloop one over third. All right, Newhouser ready to work. 2-1 pitch. And Speaker sends this one out to right field, routine, and Buddy Lewis will grab it. Barely had to move, 1 away. Cocky Collins, 1-for-2. Good day at the plate for him. RBI in this game. 1-1 pitch. Collins rips this one, plays, and this one caroms off the wall in right center field. And oh my God, what a play. We got to look at that one again. Eddie Collins doubled, but thrown out at 3rd. So Buddy Lewis with the outfield assist nails Eddie Collins. Actually, video replays in this aren't very exciting, but there you go for anybody who's interested. So Collins turns on the jet. Buddy Lewis with a strong throw and a great tag by Ken Keltner. So Eddie Collins, do not do that this Saturday for Cousin Ken. Don't get too greedy. All right, here we go. Sherry McGee, perfect 2-for-2 at the plate today, and he is responsible for 2 of the 5 runs here for the 1910 squad. 1-1 pitch to McGee. Swung on, fly ball deep to center field, and DiMaggio tracking it down at the track, as one does. All right, we head to the 7th inning. Pretty good ball game here. 1910s leading the 1940s 5-3. So the 1910s looking to scratch their way back to 500. A little ways to go. 1940s wanting to hold on to their share of first place. All right, we will see Lou Boudreau, Frankie Hayes, and Ken Keltner due up for the 1940s. The greatest generation the greatest generation against the forgotten generation, right? Because World War One, they're the forgotten generation. So, as evidenced by how many of these baseball players from 1910s, the regular outside of this family baseball fan. Again, I was doing my George Sisler rant the other night. How a player, one of the greatest of all time, forgotten today, and I don't get it. Yeah, I'm opinionated. I'm an opinionated person. What can I say? By the way, anybody out there, if you're a general gamer, real quick, non baseball, but oh my God, it just came out today on Steam. I'll be buying it this weekend. Mafia, the old country. Oh my God, does it look cool? So it takes place in the first decade, or the first decade of the 20th century in Sicily, and it looks beautiful. And oh my God, yeah. So Mafia, the old country. All right, because you guys know I love mob stuff. All right, back to it. Here's Lou Boudreau. Boudreau with a double and a ground out in the game. 3-1 or 2-1 pitch on the way. Boudreau spanks this one to home run Baker. Baker up and over to Kenichi for the 5-3 putout. So one down now as Frankie Hayes is in the box and he's popped out twice. Walsh with the 0-2 pitch. And Hayes cuts, and this one gets by him, dropped K. And again, that's that slippery saliva sphere by Ed Walsh. So gets the strikeout, number 4 in the game. 2 down, and here's Ken Keltner. So Keltner, nothing for 2. He is lined out and struck out. 1-0 pitch, and Keltner shoots this one out towards short. Donnie Bush brings it in. 7th inning stretch time here at Candlestick Park. Your score 5-3. All right, we are back, and the infield in at the corner is looking bunt from home run Baker. Baker nothing for 3 in the game, and there he is. Paul. He says, buongiorno. He says, good morning from Cyprus. Good morning, Paul. Paolo. Since Mafia of the Old Country's out now, I'm going to break into some Italian here a little bit. Anyhow, hope all is well with you, Paul. And to answer your question, back in Messenger, I wish I knew why there were so many posteriors around. But anyhow, it's great to see you, Paul. And hopefully you're going to be working really hard today and much more beta testing of Pocket Pennant Run because the world's waiting, brother. All right. So Paul doing some APA, doing all kinds of cool things, man. And even playing some of the lesser sports, but we still love Paul. We still love Paul. He's a wanker, but we still love him. All right, here we go. 2-2 pitch. And home run Baker slashes this one to right base hit, gets down in front of Buddy Lewis. So nobody out. Nobody out. I did not. Did you send? I don't. Did you send them to me in the Facebook Magic Box machine? Because I didn't see them there. I thought I would look. Because I wouldn't be on tonight, man. I'd be like playing some dead ball in Pocket Pennant Run. So I guess I'll have to look again. So thank you, my friend. I'll give you feedback, report any bugs, obviously. And yes, I am sworn to silence, NDA. Sworn to silence. Okay. Okay, so there's a link in my. Okay, I will look again. Molto grazie, paesano. Eh? I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you to and Craig for allowing me to take part in a little bit of beta testing. Because I get all uppity about dead balls. So I probably thought it was. I probably did, because I'm in Egypt that way, as you know, Paul. I am in Egypt. I'm in Egypt. I'm proud of being in Egypt. Always. Somebody has to. I'm the community Egypt here in the sports gaming community, and I'm happy to be so. So anyhow, Ed Kenichi, except for a great play in the field, kind of a crappy day at the dish. He's flown out twice, and he's lined to the pitcher. All right, so Baker aboard, good speed, and Newhouser deals. Kenichi, first pitch swing, throw down. Baker was off to the races, and they got him. So one away, base is empty. Kenichi back in there. I think that was a good call to send Baker, considering Kenichi not seeing the ball so well. Looked like a straight steal as opposed to any attempt at a hit and run, as Kenichi didn't even move the bat. All right, 0-1 pitch on the way, and Kenichi, and so it goes, base hit to left. So had there been a hit and run on one pitch later, what could have been? Stella! All right, here is Chief Wilson. I'm off my meds. As you guys can tell, I'm off my meds. So how about it here? Chief Wilson today is 2 for 3, including 2 singles. Struck out. Kenichi on first, 1 away. And the pitch, the throw down. Kenichi, what was he thinking? He had no business stealing. He's out of there. So base is empty, 2 down, 19-10. Starting to get a little bit cocky here, I think. Taking some chances. 1-0 pitch, and look at that. Line drive over short into left, base hit. That's the 13th hit. See, the Irish came through there. That's the 13th hit. I said 13th. So hit number 3 there for Chief Wilson. And here comes Donnie Bush. I was fine until Paul showed up. Now I'm getting weird. Good to see you, Paul. It really is, man. We got to get you on again some night. 1-2 pitch, strike 3. That retires the side. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And we will see how Newhouser, Buddy Lewis, and Mickey Vernon. So Ed Walsh looking for, let's see, how's Ed Walsh doing here in terms of, Ed Walsh can pitch like all day and all night and into next week. So he's good in terms of durability. Do I want to allow Tommy? Well, of course, Tommy Holmes can pitch hit, whatever he wants to do. So former Brave Tommy Holmes, there he is. And this one, roller out to Donnie Bush at short, gloves it, and one poetic motion, ballet-ic, one might even say, fires onto Ed Kenichi for the 6-3 putout. All right, back at the top of the order, Buddy Lewis looking to extend his 10-game hitting streak as Mickey Vernon extended his 12-game hitting streak earlier in the contest. 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's not going to happen this time. Wait, Kenichi bobbles the ball, but could have just been messing around a little bit. John Ringling North is in attendance here today. Anyhow, bag takes it to the bag unassisted. 2 away, and here's Mickey Vernon. And I haven't even had a Guinness yet. This is so bad. Mickey Vernon, RBI double that scored Buddy Lewis back in the 3rd. Big Ed Walsh with the 0-2 pitch, and Mickey Vernon, swing and a miss. And that will do it as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The 1910s still leading this one 5-3. We have us a new pitcher in here, I believe. Yes, we do. Cy Bucher. I don't know a lot about Cy Bucher. Let's look at Cy Bucher. So a 3.27 earned run average, 2 wins, 2 losses for him. Or no, I'm sorry, 7 wins and 2 losses. See that? I'm such an idiot, as I told you. I don't know a lot. I don't even know. Let's see, who did he play for? It looks like Brooklyn. So anybody know anything about Cy Bucher? This is a player I don't know. So that's why I love these leagues. Now I have to go learn about Cy Bucher. All right, Ray Schalk. We'll see if there will be a pinch hitter for Ed Walsh. We'll let the chat decide that one, if you so wish. If not, we're going to let Walsh bat. And then back at the top of the order, Tris Speaker. Cracker Schalk, 2 for 2 and a walk and an RBI in this game. 1-1 pitch to Schalk. And Schalk, look at this. What a day for him. Line drive base hit into left field. And Cracker Schalk with his 3rd hit of the day. And that brings up Ed Walsh. So I'm going to pause here. And what do you guys want to do? Do you want to pinch hit for Ed Walsh? He has a 2-run lead. When we go to the 9th inning for the 1940s, we're going to see DiMaggio, Kiner, and Gordon. So some firepower coming up for the 1940s when we head to the 9th. Give it a few seconds here while I consider the universe. and life and everything. And 42. So I'm going to thank Cousin Ken again for giving me that news about the Pittsburgh Pirates finally remembering the 1925 World Championship Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, we're going to let Walsh hit. We're going to let Ed Walsh hit. Walsh has been fanned twice in that game. Oh, it's all right, Professor. Welcome in. Welcome in. So everybody, not my business to say, but just send out some good vibes, some prayers for Clinton and his family. I'm not at liberty to share. If Clinton chooses to, that's fine. But just guys, please, good energy, good prayers, good thoughts. Okay, for a good friend and family member here, the Professor Clinton Parks. All right, Walsh in the box now. Infield looking bunt here. And Ray Schalk in line, possibly be player of the game here. We'll see. 0-1 pitch to Ed Walsh. See if he bunts. Oh, he gets one down, but this one's swinging away. Mickey Vernon will take it to the bag himself, but on the play, the unintentional sacrifice, Ray Schalk will move into scoring position. So the 1910s looking for potential run number 6 now as we swing back around at the top of the order, and the Gray Eagle is up. So Tris Speaker does have a sac fly RBI way back in the second inning. 1 for 2 in the game, including a walk. 1-0 pitch, and they're going to intentionally walk Speaker to try to get the double play. But Eddie Collins, 2 for 3 on the day. Collins not known as somebody that's going to ground into a lot of double plays. He's grounded into one this season thus far. So, and that's in 45 at bats. So, and again, interesting choice here because you get past Collins, and you got Sherry McGee next. And Sherry McGee, the slugger on this team with 14 home runs. All right, Baker deals. Bucher deals. And this one, little bounding ball. Gordon's only play will be to Vernon at first. So they don't turn 2, but they do get the second out on the play. Schalk and Speaker move up. So 2 in scoring position. And Sherry McGee, 2 for 3 on the day, has a chance to come through big here. 2 RBI for Sherry McGee in the game. From the stretch, Bucher works 0-1 pitch, and they're going to intentionally walk McGee with the first base open, and the bases are sold out for home run Baker, and he is due. Singled back in the 7th, 1 for 4 today for the third baseman of the 1910 squad. All right, Bucher rubbing up the baseball, and he is ready to work from the stretch. Count full on Baker up the middle. Great play by Flash Gordon. Wow. They get out of a huge mess. We go to the top of the 9th. And it's the 1910s holding on to a 5-3 lead. The line for the 1910s, 5 runs, 14 hits, no errors. And the big story for them, they've stranded 11. 1940s playing a little bit more efficiently, leaving only 2 men, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error thus far. Heart of the order here, Joe DiMaggio leading it off, already has a dinger and a couple long flies in this ball game. 0-1 pitch. DiMaggio swings, and this one stays in the infield. First time, Kenichi feeding Walsh for out number 1. 1910s just 2 out away from getting their 6th win of the season. And here's Ralph Kiner. Of course, Ralph Kiner with a home run back in the 6th. Joe Gordon waits on deck. Walsh delivers the 2-1 pitch. Kiner sends this one out to right field toward the foul line. Chief Wilson will run it down for out number 2. Joe Gordon trying to keep it alive for the 1940s. He's flown out twice and struck out. Walsh into the wind. 1-2 pitch. And Joe Gordon swinging a miss. Strike 3. And that's your ball game. So this was a fun one, 5-3. Let's look at our recap. All right, so for the 1910s, who improved to 6-8, 5 runs, 14 hits, no errors. For the 1940s, they fall to 9-5, 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. the two highlights for the 1940s in terms of offense. Joe DiMaggio 1 for 4 with a home run, as was Ralph Kiner. For the victorious 1910s, Eddie Collins went 2 for 4 with two doubles. Chief Wilson went 3 for 4, and Sherry McGee 2 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Ed Walsh will improve to 2 and 3. Hal Newhouser will fall to 2 and 2. So let's look at pitching, because Clinton Parks always likes to look at the pitching, and who doesn't, right? So Newhouser, with the loss, went 7. Gave up 13 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 4, struck out 5. So his ERA will go to 4.39. Cy Bucher came on, worked an inning in relief, and gave free passes to 2 hitters. Ed Walsh went the distance, baby. 4 hits, 3 earned runs, gave up 2 home runs, walked 2, and struck out 6. So the Spitballers' ERA improves to 3.23. I'm going to say that it's probably going to be Sherry McGee as player of the game. Let's see what the decision is. So MVP or game of the player of the game is Ed Walsh. Good performance, keeping a powerful lineup quiet. But let's certainly give a nod also to Sherry McGee. All right, let's look at the standings, and then we're going to get the flock out of here, because you guys have put up with me now for an hour and some minutes. So let this, there we go. All right, so the 1980s and the 1930s sit atop this, tied for first at 9-4. The 1940s and the 1960s, or the 1940s, I'm sorry, and possession of second place, just a half game back. This is a tight league all the way up and down, as you would expect. Then the 1960s, a game back at 8 wins, 5 losses. The 1970s had a strong start to the season, but now they've kind of cooled off a little bit. 7-6, 2 games back. The 1990s and the 1950s, each 6-7 and 3 back. The 1910s improved to 6-8, 3.5 out. The 2000s, along with the 1920s and the 19th century, 5-8, and a big surprise here, the 1900s, bringing up the rear, 5 games out, 4 wins, and 9 losses. And these guys have, yeah, there we go. These guys have you look at this again, baseball guys, historian. You got Roger Bresnahan, Jimmy Collins, Elmer Flick, Buck Freeman, Johnny Kling, Napoleon Lajoie, the great Jimmy Sheckard, Hannes Wagner, Bobby Wallace. No slouches here in the 1900s. Christy Mathewson, Joe McGinnity, Jack Cheeseborough, Three Finger Brown, Gettysburg, Eddie Plank, Rube Waddell. And yet these guys are in last place. But you know what? It's very, very early in this season. So, guys, thank you for joining me. This is like our third straight night of baseball. So I do play tomorrow night. It'll be Ernie Harwell calling a game 1911. I'm going to go back to a 1911 replay on Baseball for Windows. I promised. What did I promise? How do you restart a season? That's what Truth Hurts Wilkie asks. So if he's still here, and if not, he can catch the answer later. I will show him how to do that. So you just go up here to Tools, all right? And then all you have to do is when you go to Tools, you're basically just going to do right here, begin reset. So set league records to 0, set all-time records to 0. Just click. I would just click the first one and then just do reset, and that's how you restart a season. You're welcome, Truth Hurts Wilkie. That's how you do it. So this game, Action PC Baseball, we were talking about this last night. And I was saying this is my second favorite baseball game, although now Pocket Pennant Run moving kind of up alongside this one. While this game does not have a career mode, or a lot of the modes that Out of the Park Baseball has, don't kid yourself. This is a really, really profoundly deep baseball game. Very, very customizable, very editable, mod friendly, as we would say in the parlance of the day. Any Big Lebowski fans? Did you get that? So do we have any Coen's Brothers fans here, by the way? Fans of their movies, Fargo and Miller's Crossing, The Big Lebowski, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love the Coen Brothers, man. Great movies, great stuff. But this is really, really, really super deep. Again, it's built for single season replay, but for creating sort of projects, doing something, doing like this. Our first two iterations of McGreevy, um, right, the main McGreevy League, everything like that was originally done in Action PC Baseball. It was a blast. So I always say that if you haven't bought this game, you should buy it. And if you don't buy anything else along with it, right, or you're playing it for a while and you're not ready to make the big investment to get all the seasons or anything, do yourself a favor, get the Baseball History Collection, and you've got. It would take you. The universe would probably reset itself 9 times uh, before you could actually experience everything just in the Baseball History Collection. Almost 19,000 retired players represented by peak slices in their career. I would say, and I haven't done this, and I probably should have, just really quickly, if you're playing cross era play in Action PC Baseball, there's a function here. You want to make sure to give left handed pitchers a little boost. I forgot to do that, which that might partially explain why my favorite team, the 1900s, are bringing up the rear. So I do gotta fix that. We don't see him anymore, but I know he's around. If you guys really want to get deep into, and I'm going to take off my headphones, don't need them. If you guys want to get deep into Action PC Baseball, there is no better person to learn about this fantastic baseball game than Steve Tate. While Steve might not be frequenting anybody else's channels or anything like that, you got to give credit where it's due. Steve's a good guy, and you just watch Simtistics with Steve Tate. Go back to some of his older videos, his tutorials on Action PC Baseball, and you will learn so much. I've done some tutorials, but Steve's knowledge of this game is incredible. He's incredible. He's much like Mike Garland is with Out of the Park Baseball, and some of the folks come over here, H Field and um, other guys. Another guy too is Blue Rose Case. He knows this game super well too. Haven't seen him in far too long. So Truth Hurts Wilkie says make sure you check out those MLB Tops hats. Yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will, my friend. Thank you, and it's so good to see you. I'll shoot you an email. We got to find a time that we can actually talk. I think it would be fun, just to catch up on baseball and other matters. And I will make an announcement here, gentlemen, that I have indeed found the Epstein files. I have found the Epstein files. They were tucked away in an old time baseball project that I was doing, and I'm looking around and there they were, and it said Epstein files. So I will be releasing those post haste. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, it's not Epstein. I'm sorry. I had the. It's not. It's not Epstein. It's Silverstein. Shel Silverstein. His file. I'm sorry. It was not Epstein. Shel Silverstein. But there you go. Um, I was trying to get a little clickbait. Yeah, Mike Epstein. Exactly, right? Trying to get some clickbait here at the end. Beatles found it. Well, we know he's off his meds, so does it matter? I don't know. But anyhow, guys, even with the rising prices of every damn thing, just play baseball, enjoy it, love it, live it, breathe it. Um, Convert the world. We play more baseball, life would just be grand, right? Till the next time, take care of yourselves. And again, I ask you, please, just thoughts, prayers, good vibes, good hopes, whatever, for Clinton Parks and family as he's dealing with some things right now that require those thoughts, hopes, prayers, vibes. Okay, to our good friend and one of the longest long-term members of this family, Professor Clinton Parks. That being said, I want to thank my good friend Truth Hurts Wilkie. Could be my partner in crime in something. You wait, it's going to happen. Professor, thank you. FAC Sports Desk with Paul. He is after the Beatles, he's my favorite Scouser. So, Paul, thank you, my friend. Um, always so nice to see you here. And I will look in my whatever, my Facebook. Parallel League, you are awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Parallel League gave up watching a Motley Crue thing to come in here and hang out, as he said, this Motley Crue. So it means a lot. Thank you, Parallel League. My buddy Modern Relic was in here tonight. Always good to see him. I still got to give him a hammer. Damn it. Next time, please remind me. Just say, hey, Beatles, where's my wrench? Because I don't think you have one, and I got to give you one. Right? Yeah, see, I can't. Wait. What's the star thingy? Can I do it here? What's this do? Oh, it's just puts a star there. I don't know what that means. All right, so I got to give you that. The heart and soul of this channel, Cousin Ken Castro. So I don't know if Cousin Ken will be on tomorrow night before he heads to Greenville, South Carolina for an APA tournament. So if so, Ken, I'm flying down, whatever. Have a grand time and make that $100,000 infield. As you said, you're going to make it into a track meet. So looking forward to hearing the results of that. My goodness gracious, we had Dwayne Mart's YouTube network. What can you say about Dwayne Mart's YouTube network that hasn't been said in the hallowed, august halls of Bill's Siding Museum and Hall of Fame in Poughkeepsie, New York? Great things whispered about Dwayne Mart's YouTube network, so you have to subscribe to it. Red, White, and Blue Racing, and Dwayne, we talk about gurus of games. If you want to know how to operate digital diamond baseball, Dwayne Martz is the man. And check out his great bats league that he's done. Go back, check out all the pre 1960 the bats league that he did there. He's doing post 1960 now, and someday he's going to get back to this great World Series project. Looking forward to that. D. Scott Howard. D. Scott Howard, one of the coolest people in this community. And here's a man who lives in Washington State, and he is a Dodger fan through and through, and most awesome. There will be some night again I want to share something very, very special D. Scott Howard had done for me a few years ago, and I'll never, ever, ever forget. He's also a fellow Monty Python fan and all that. So that is definitely huge. Jackson Evans, I don't even know if you're still here, but come back, man. Join the family. We're here. We hang out. It's cool. We sometimes even do weird things. I don't know. Bernie Strom. So Bernie Strom and I will be back about a week or so, maybe hopefully about a week, on his channel as we do another edition of the Diamonds and Dice podcast. We have no idea what we're going to talk about yet. That will be our upcoming meeting, because usually Bernie and I decide about 2 or 3 days beforehand what the topic's going to be. And we are rather chuffed that people are liking it. We even made IMDb, so that's pretty cool. Seriously, I'm not being facetious. You can look us up and find us on there. Pretty nice. Or else that means they'll just put anybody up on IMDb. I have no idea. So I think that's it. Did I get everybody? Philip Reynolds was here. Philip Reynolds has been playing red ice hockey. That's what he told us. He was the first one in the ballpark tonight. So Philip, always good to hear from you. And that's it, guys. That is it, unless anybody else. John DFW comes in at the end. Modern Relics is a great game. You have a good night too, my friend. Thank you. Be careful with Epstein bar folder. Nice. There we go. Parallel League getting through one more zinger, man. I love it. Oh, no worries, John. It's good to see you, my friend. And I did forget. I'm sorry. I was only a temporary forget. I failed to remember. I'll get those things zipped up, man. I promise you, you'll have them by this weekend, okay? You'll have them by this week. So, weekend, I should say. So John DFW, who so kindly created and maintains our McGreevy League Discord, and also just all around swell guy. All right. Guys, thank you very much for choosing to spend some time tonight with all of us here together, our baseball family, our little family here that we've created in this corner of this crazy place called YouTube. And until the next time, We'll see you around the batting cage. Good night.